Hi, welcome to All Things Trail Running. Today we're going to review the Swift RL from Petzl. Hey, thanks for joining us today. We're going to do a review of the Swift RL headlamp from Petzl. Now, Petzl is a company that makes amazing headlamps. There's all kinds of different ones that you can get. But one thing I really like about Petzl is that they put together what they call their reactive lighting technology. So really what this means is that the headlamp adjusts depending on how bright or dark it is outside. So if you are running at dusk, the light might be a little bit dimmer as the sun is still out, and then as it gets darker, the light will brighten up. So it is really cool technology. I was running in the reactive headlamp before this one, and just really love the technology that they build into these headlamps. This is the new headlamp that they just came out with this year. It's called the Swift RL headlamp. They did a good job with this headlamp. So the big idea here is they changed the battery, so you get a little bit more battery life out of it. I think they're saying about 33% more battery life out of this headlamp than the previous models. They also simplified it a ton. So if you used one of the old headlamps from Petzl when they first came out with this technology, they were great headlamps, but they were a little clunky because they had a bunch of different features on them. They had everything from red lighting to just different sorts of settings that you could plug in and kind of program it in your computer, which was really nice, but just a feature that I never ever used. So this headlamp is advertised at going up to 900 lumens. I don't think it gets to 900 lumens, but it's pretty freaking bright as you're out there on the trail. It's got a low, a medium, and a high setting on it, which is also really cool. The old version of this thing was really tough to kind of like work its way kind of through the different settings. So this is just as simple as you just push a button, it's on low, you push it again, it goes up to medium, you push it again, and it goes up to a high setting. So I usually run on the low or the medium setting. I'm getting about 4.5 hours of battery life out of it on the medium setting. So I'm sure you could run it at the low setting and get a little bit more battery life. I think they're advertising like 8 hours. But 4.5 hours is more than enough on a medium setting, and I'm getting tons of luminosity out of it, which is really amazing on the trail. The other upgrade that they made on this is that it's like a daylight hue. So the old one was a little bit more yellow, and the other thing that this has a low and a high beam on it at the same time. With 4.5 hours of battery life, I recommend probably getting an extra battery. I always run with an extra battery and an extra headlamp in my pack for longer races. So for this one, I just ordered an extra battery, so that way it's going to give me like 8.5, 9 hours of battery life, which is more than enough to get you through the night on a long race. So the nice thing on this is that you find a lot more gradient in the light. So, the old one kind of had a spot and then had a low beam. This one really has nice gradient between the low and the high beam, and you can really see what's happening on the trail below you. The third thing that is really nice, and they kept this from the old model, is this is probably the most comfortable headlamp that I've ever worn. It has this really nice system in the back, so it's not just pushing into the back of your head. It's really easy to adjust on the back, and it's something that you can wear all night, which is really important. So downsides to it, I really miss kind of that red lamp feature that they had on their old headlamp. I used it for camping a lot. This one doesn't have that. Like I said, the features are just really kind of dumbed down on this headlamp. It also feels a little pricey at 120 bucks. I kind of want a few more features on my headlamp, but I mean, it's the price you pay. These are investments. They last you multiple years. And like I said, if you're going to get a headlamp, the reactive technology is awesome. Anyway, if you have other questions, feel free to post them in the comments. We will do our best to answer all of them. And thanks for joining All Things Trail Running. And once again, this is the review of the Petzl Swift RL.